Hi everyone, it's Daisy McCarty, founder of Brand Message Clarity. I had the opportunity to listen to Jay Baer give a keynote address last week. He's one of the authors of a book called Talk Triggers, and he was speaking about the power of word of mouth to grow your business. So when most businesses are looking to grow their sales revenue, they think about spending money on marketing and advertising campaigns, and that's fine. But if you really want to reach people and get that grassroots effect going for you and have people say positive things about your business and tell their friends and family about that, there are ways that you can make that happen in a very deliberate and systematic way. And that's what the premise of his book, Talk Triggers, is about. And it talks about the 4 key characteristics of a talk trigger. What is going to make people go and tell other people about the experience that they had with your brand? And he boiled that down to 4 key characteristics. Number 1, your talk trigger needs to be remarkable. So if it's not interesting enough or unusual enough for people to talk about, they're not going to remark on it. So it needs to be remarkable. Second is that it needs to be relevant. So it needs to have something to do with what you offer as a business and something that's useful to your customers. So one of the examples that Jay gave was a locksmith who, whenever he goes out and changes a customer's lock, also does a free security audit on their home and oils all the other locks in their house. Simple thing that he can do as part of the operations of his business, and people remember it, they talk about it, they leave great reviews about it. The third one is it has to be reasonable. So if it's going to break your budget to do it, then it's not something that you're going to be able to sustain. And it's also not going to be something that people will really believe if they hear about it. So if it's something too extravagant and too far out there, then you're kind of undermining your credibility. So an example of a reasonable thing that one business did was, as a theme park owning business, they gave away free sunscreen and free sodas, unlimited sodas and sunscreen to all of the visitors at their park. Everybody remembers it, everybody talks about it. They have more positive reviews than any theme park in the United States as a result, even though they're a small theme park in the middle of nowhere. And the fourth one is that it has to be repeatable. So it has to be something that you can do for all of your customers and all of your prospects, not just a select few. So you're not giving away a 5-day cruise that only a handful of people are going to win. You're doing something that touches every customer who crosses your path. So I was thinking about the talk trigger for my business, because I have been doing something very deliberately and systematically in the operations of my business for the past several years that people talk about. And that is the way that I make introductions. So whenever I am speaking to a customer or a prospect, I dig down not just into the kinds of problems that I can solve for them, but the things that the other people in my network can solve. So whenever I do a virtual chat with someone, whenever I sit down with them for coffee, the very first thing that's at the top of my mind when I'm talking to them is who can I introduce them to? Sometimes I can make referrals to them for new customers. Sometimes I can introduce them to a vendor. I often refer people to other business owners who can make good strategic partners. So anytime I'm talking with a B2B company owner, I have a list in my head of the people that I know that they should talk to. And within 24 to 48 hours of having my initial conversation with that person, they're going to receive 1 to 2 email introductions, sometimes 3 or 4 from me, to people who will be able to help them either as vendors, as clients, as strategic partners, or as mentors. And this is something that people talk about. Whenever my name comes up, this is the thing that people remember. I printed off a few short email messages, just a few from last week. And the first one is from Russell. And Russell is someone that I introduced to James. They both live in California. I'm here in Texas. They live within driving distance of each other, but it took having that conversation with me for them to be connected with each other. And Russell wrote me saying, "Thanks for introducing me to James. He is wonderful. Lunch with him today was the high point of my week." Also, this last week, I introduced 2 of my clients to each other. So Aaron and Jeff are going to have a conversation. They are both in the B2B technology space, and they are looking for strategic partners to go to market with. And Aaron wrote me saying about Jeff's offering, "Looks like Jeff's offering is very complementary to our platform. We are actively looking for mutually beneficial technology partnerships. Their service falls right into our short-term engineering roadmap." So they're setting up a meeting at the end of this week to discuss that in more detail. And finally, here's one from Kenan. It says, "Thanks, Daisy, much appreciated. You are an incredibly awesome connection, promotion, and messaging clarity goddess." Thank you, Kenan. So as you can see, the simple act of deliberately and systematically making those introductions every single time that I have a conversation with a B2B company owner. It has been a wonderful talk trigger for my business. It's one of the reasons that people refer me new clients, and the reason that they also turn around and make helpful introductions for me all the time. So thank you to everyone in my network for doing that for me as well. If you are a B2B company owner and you would like to have that kind of conversation with me and come away with a couple of great new introductions, I'm going to open up my calendar to you on the next page, and you can schedule a time for us to talk. Thanks for watching and have a great day.